Papa 1, Papa 2, Papa 3, Papa... No. Promoted, demoted, depending on where you... Is the glass half full or half empty? Hello, this is Tobias Forge from Ghost. I am here to react to characters of the clergy. So we'll see what my reactions might be. Yeah, very crude, but cool. It is popping. I wonder if this, it's hard to tell. I mean, we did a lot of shows on the first tour, the first album cycle. It looks like one of those in maybe London or might have been Köln, but I don't remember if this is the place. Someone might correct me, like, das ist the nein. No, it's not. Well, I mean, the first era, he was never properly like introduced as a potential imposter as any of the other papas after him has been. There's always been pushback. As soon as someone new came in, it was always like, whereas the first show we ever did was in Würzburg. So that was the first time anyone ever saw it. Now, of course, that festival was a little bit of a too cool for school metal fest. Really cool bands. I mean, it's a cool festival, but very like no spontaneous outbreak of overjoy. We also warmed up a little just a day after or something like when we'd done one show, and then we flew to London and played a show there at the Camden Underworld. I don't know, this might be Camden Underworld, I'm not sure. That would have been our second show, and that was definitely a little bit, the crowd was very inebriated and sang along a lot. Then I knew that we were on the right path. Yeah, costume-wise, it had advanced slightly. I basically contacted a local seamstress in Linköping where I lived. You know, she was like a professional seamstress, and she was like, yeah, you know, she had a certain cassock and sort of church attire that she would make for, like, I guess the local church in Linköping. So I was like, okay, let's take a little bit of that, and well, I'm gonna need a hat like this and a hat like that, and went over to the lace department and just like, this looks cool. If you take this lace and this lace and this lace and these buttons and sort of put them together, that might make this cool thing for the middle. It was really that like crude. Might have been an embroidery machine. So the crucifixes here, it was literally like, here, data file, print, and those came out like, so how many do you want? Like, oh, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's so ad hoc. Every day just felt like, or every month or every tour just felt like, this is almost over. So let's have fun for as long as we can. Next picture is same outfit. I'm trying to remember why Emeritus II in not makeup sort of came about. There was this big spin-off with, you know, Papa Emeritus II minus the makeup is the same as Papa Emeritus II with the makeup, but somehow people were just like, oh, it's another character. I don't know who I'm looking at. No, it's the same guy. He was just not wearing the same attire. This has been confusing for me too. Papa Emeritus III. So all these three first dudes are brothers, and the age difference between 2 and 3 is like 3 months. And anybody with like a biological knowledge might say that that's nicht possible. It is, if you have 2 mothers. So that says something about the father. Number 3, this is where things got a little bit more interesting in terms of design. We started working with B. Åkerlund for this album. It turned out really cool. I mean, it was also based on a similar MO as the previous one. A lot of lace, a lot of material, but this was more from a worldwide point of view, like picked up a little bit here and there. And I think if I just go back one, there are little medallions, or what look like medallions, on on its placed, the medallions were like glue and like old crucifixes and stuff. So it was like a crucifix with the chain and everything, and just like put together with all kinds of little brushes or something. Like, it was really, really cool. Oh yeah, this was a big step for the band because I was feeling already on the second album cycle, on number 2, that going around being spooky is fun and all, but it's sooner or later it's gonna, you know, wear off, because when you play a longer show, longer than an hour, sooner or later it's going to start coming off as stale and still standing and just not fun. So therefore, Papa Emeritus got this get-up that was inspired by Charles III, I guess, the Swedish king from late 1700s. When he claimed the throne, he had a costume like that. So that's basically taken from Charles III. That differed definitely from Papa Emeritus II. Both 1 and 2 had more like a dirty, traditional Halloween kind of thing. It's small nuances, but you can see that it's more like linear, more straight lines and angles. Papa Nil, sibling to Papa 1, 2, 3. Also a lot of cool embroidery on that one. Sister Imperator. For the observant, you might have noticed that there has been a little bit of a circulation of sisters. What breaks my heart here a little is that this particular one passed away, which was a drag, because she was a very fun and cool actress. The whole idea of casting is sometimes a fun part of my job, because you know, first sister was obviously she was who she was. She just came in and did her job, and then at a certain point she proved very hard to work with and basically bowed out. And then we had to find someone who like looked almost like her, or as close as you can possibly get. Hence the car accident. And then when from one day to another, literally, when we were shooting episodes and we were going to shoot episodes again, she had passed away. And so you had to sort of do that thing again, where we had to find someone who looked like her and the other one. So far, I think we did really well. However, now I just moved over to the next picture. That picture is taken by my sister. My old apartment with black cloth in the back. The cassocks were the same, you know, what we asked this local seamstress to do for Papa's undergarment was basically what ended up being the ghoul suits. You know, the idea is always been for them to be a uniformed bunch of soldiers, if you will. In this case, with very generic alchemic symbols. I remember we were in Denmark. We took this photo with the obligatory smoke. Esther Segara took this picture. Yeah, this was another ghoul suit that was meant to look like a pilot diver, but as if it was some underwater airplane in the 1800s. The whole look of the cycle was supposed to be a little bit more specific. It was influenced by St. Pancras Station in London, where you had sort of goth meets Victorian industrialism. We're jumping back in time. After Papa 3 came Cardinal Copia. Before it felt a little bit, you know, repetitive and kind of predictable. Papa 1, Papa 2, Papa 3, Papa... No? So, you know, we needed to break things up a little. How about introducing a character who hasn't really fully bloomed yet? And hence Cardinal Copia. This is the first time ghoul costumes were made also with B. Arkerland and sort of her, under her curation. In Godfather 2, there's this wonderful scene with, what's his name? Insert name here. Who is like the most Don of all of them. He's like someone impersonating the Marlon Brando character. You know, where Marlon obviously sort of did it cool, and if someone sort of like does that as a joke. And I always found that character, one, very funny, and also that he had really cool clothes. So I wanted Cardinal Copia to have a get-up that was similar to that one. Here we go, Cardinal made Papa. Photos taken at the Stockholm City Hall. Really cool room. It's a huge hall with golden ornate mosaic on the walls. It looks absolutely amazing. It's been really amazing taking these pictures in cool locations. Much thanks to Nicholas Johansson at Universal, very good friend of mine, but also he has a nose for locations. Location is key. You can take cool pictures with, you know, with black background and white background and all that, or you can impose anything that you want, but when you have a great location, it looks fabulous. Papa Emeritus IV, the first picture. That picture was taken in Mexico in March 2020, when we thought that a new album is going to be recorded, and, you know, hopefully within half a year, but within 9 months we were going to have a new album out. No, but we managed to introduce him, Papa Emeritus IV being the elevated Cardinal Copia on that show in Mexico City, which was cool. Papa Emeritus as one of the baseball furies. You know, growing up with 80s video violence, The Warriors was of course a big film. When the opportunity knocked to do something baseball-esque, it was a no-brainer. Of course, Papa Emeritus IV is a baseball fury. Frater Imperator, that's where we're at. That's where he's at. Promoted, demoted, depending on where you... Is the glass half full or half empty? That's something that you need to come to terms with in life. He has an important role. It needs to land in his mind that he's important still, even though he's not the focal point. V is coming. It's true. Each one has an element, of course, that I like, or something that I could look back on with a certain degree of joy. I definitely think that Papa 3, with the addition of something as easy as pants, made the show better and made the show more fun. First Cardinal, when he was just Cardinal, was fun because of the different attires that you were talking about, different colors. There are elements in each that are fun, but for me as an entertainer, I think that even from a novelty point of view, the newly found fame and the feeling of the band sort of making it was of course fun on the first two albums, but I think from an being or wanting to be an entertainer point of view, it definitely got more interesting and more fun after, where it was slightly more intuitively doing more fun stuff rather than sort of just like doing that. Thank you for watching. Tschüss.